Hello, Paul here once again, talking music where every song has a story. I hope you're well. Today's song is SLADE, 'Cause I Love You. SLADE were Jim Lee on guitar, Dave Hill, also guitar, Don Powell on drums, and led by the rather characterful Noddy Holder, also on guitar and lead vocals. There was a lot of guitar in SLADE, believe me, probably why they were so loud. That and Noddy's distinctive voice, of course. They were formed in Wolverhampton in 1966 and had originally called themselves the In-Betweens. Then in 1969 changed their name to Ambrose Slade and then to SLADE itself in 1970. And the year after, they were having hits in the UK chart. 'Cause I Love You was their second hit and first number one. And in 1972, they really took over and became the dominant force in the UK singles chart, ahead of any other act, Bowie, Bolan, Sweet, Elton John, anyone. And their success through 72 lasted until 1974. They had a good 2.5 years right at the very top of the UK charts. They were part of the glam rock genre, but they always rock and rolled as well. Noddy didn't sing as such, though he could. He just blasted the microphone vocally, and their sound stood apart really from just about any other at the time. They were a great success and inspired so many afterwards, including the likes of the Sex Pistols, The Clash, Motley Crue, Ramones and Oasis, and more. They never cracked America as such. They did have a couple of hits there, but in the UK they were the force. They were the first band to have 3 singles, enter the singles chart at number 1, Come On Feel the Noise, Squeeze Me Please Me, and Merry Christmas Everybody, all in 1973. 'Cause I Love You did become a UK chart topper and was the game changer for them. Their first release in 1971 was Get Down and Get With It, an old Little Richard cover. And their manager, Chaz Chandler, who was also the producer of their music, was keen for the band to start writing their own material. And the band were hesitant at first, but split into pairs to give it a go. Jim and Don, and Noddy and Dave. Noddy became quickly aware that writing a hit song was not easy. Jim was listening to T-Rex and Mark Bolan, which were hot at the time, and found their sounds like hot love, sexy, and he used the term slinky, well produced, and he fathomed that that was the way to have a hit single. SLADE were rockers, out and out, screamers. So they turned their focus on writing something softer in order to get that hit record penned by themselves. Jim went to Noddy's parents' house for a jam session with Noddy, hoping to work something up with him, and that's when the magic developed. They got a structure for what would become 'Cause I Love You. Jim said to Noddy, now that we've done this, we'll have to keep our songwriting going. And they did, as history tells us. Jim's idea for the song came from the practice riff he used to tune up his violin before shows. According to Noddy, they had the music down in just 20 minutes or so. When they played it to Chaz Chandler, they layered chords over the tune, some rough, almost ad-lib lyrics, and after hearing it, Chaz booked a studio for recording. The song was originally written as a ballad, and Noddy's vocals are softer, even on the finished version. But once in the studio, the band paid homage to their rock and roll roots by toughening the song up by adding hand claps, foot stamping sounds, and yelps. I mentioned before, 'Cause I Love You was a game changer for SLADE. And the reason why, it formed the Jim Lee-Noddy Holder songwriting relationship. It also showed that they could write hit records. The song also featured Jim Lee's violin in amongst the heavy thumping as the beat progressed, though that early SLADE signature violin trademark didn't really survive into later hits, or if it did, it was drowned out by the heavy guitars. 'Cause I Love You was deliberately misspelt, and that became a SLADE trademark. Noddy thought Because I Love You was wet as a song title, and was better inspired by the spelling used in graffiti on walls that made it more hard-hitting. None of the band actually liked the way the song would look on the vinyl record. Because I Love You was just not the way they spoke in the West Midlands Black Country, where they came from. Noddy had written out his lyrics phonetically on his song sheet in the studio at the start of recording. He'd written them the way he was going to sing them, 'cause I love you, not because I love you. Chas Chandler saw Noddy's lyric sheet and the penny dropped. It caught on and had such an impact. And because I love you became 'cause I love you. And future SLADE hits followed the same path with the misspelling. And this misspelling really caught on. It had such an impact. The education authorities in the UK complained to Polydor Records that the band was influencing youth with bad grammar. And this was long before the likes of Prince and various rap artists started doing it. So because I love you became 'cause I love you. And future SLADE hits followed the same path.
I mean, your first appearance is wonderful. Your first hit appearance is better still. Your first #1 appearance is like out of this world when you get that call on Tuesday morning telling you you're #1 in the charts. That's what you've been thinking of for all those years when you've been standing in front of the mirror with your cricket bat or your tennis racket pretending you're a pop star.
I won't laugh at you when you boo-hoo, 'cause I love you.
'Cause I Love You was SLADE's second UK hit single and their first UK #1. And there they were, taking over the #1 spot November 13th, 1971, a jump from 8 the week before. And look who they knocked off the top spot, Rod Stewart, with his debut hit single, Maggie May. And what a success he went on to be. 15 weeks on the UK singles chart for SLADE, 'Cause I Love You in total, and they spent 4 weeks at the top at #1. Sold 300,000 copies in the UK, not their biggest ever hit. That was to come with their Christmas offering, Merry Christmas Everybody, some 2 years later. But it was a song that took a band that had been together for over 5 years to a new confidence high and a belief that they could write their own music. 'Cause I Love You was also released across Europe too. Netherlands, it reached #2, #21 in France, #9 in Germany, and #7 in Belgium. Also hit the top spot in Ireland. There was no music video to the song. It was promoted via radio and TV appearances. SLADE were very much part of the Brit rock explosion of the early 1970s. And when it came to the singles market, they performed better than anyone else in the UK during their glory days of 1972 and 1973. They were great. And great fun too as well. Oh, and without doubt, the loudest when they got going. 'Cause I Love You, SLADE. And that's it for another Talking Music, where every song has a story video. Do subscribe to the channel, please. I'd love you to do that. We have many, many more songs on the Talking Music video channel. All you need to do is subscribe. There's the subscribe button below. Click it and just explore the musical jewels for your interest there. So I hope to catch you in another video. Till then, I do wish you well. Bye-bye.